So what happens when the world's largest World of Warcraft streamer joins the ranks of Final Fantasy XIV? You guessed it. Right, it was chaos. After 17 years, World of Warcraft reigned as king of the MMORPG pillar, dominating the space that is filled with plenty of big or small MMOs, as well as seeming that World of Warcraft was very untouchable by many. As of this year, we are seeing the decline of WoW as it slowly kills itself, and it's very quickly escalating to something very much sadder. As we see, Final Fantasy XIV is rising to the top as the new king of the MMO genre. And what's going on my outcast? It's your boy KSDTV, and this channel that focuses on MMOs, RPGs, and tech, or gaming tech. If you love these, then definitely hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. In today's episode, we're going to talk about Final Fantasy XIV and why it's currently the best MMORPG to play right now in 2021, and how it's very close to dethroning World of Warcraft as the king of the MMO genre. So this story begins all the way back to last year on the horizon of Shadowlands for World of Warcraft newest expansion, which wasn't received very well by many actually. By the time of January, 41% of the player base and subscriptions for World of Warcraft fell so hard. Like, they lost out on, and I remember correctly, almost $2 million around that of revenue from how many players that dropped. That is the saddest thing possible to see from such a well-beloved, old, nostalgic game. But there's a lot of key points that a lot of people are missing here on why this game is starting to decline and why other games are starting to grow from it. Specifically, games like Final Fantasy XIV, Elder Scrolls Online, and a lot of other big name titles. Hell, even when Fantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis that just dropped not even a couple weeks ago. Like, a lot of these games are starting to rise to the top, and they're all fighting for that #1 spot. Because it did seem that World of Warcraft was just untouchable as the best MMO. But no newer game or no new expansion will be able to destroy or dethrone World of Warcraft. That's just impossible. You can't. The community that backs behind World of Warcraft will keep that game floating. But the only thing that can clearly destroy World of Warcraft is literally World of Warcraft themselves. Now, let's cut all the way back to Final Fantasy XIV. This game that rose to the top is one of the best MMORPGs in 2021. It was no easy feat, but it's earned its spot even though being almost a fan service. And what I mean by fan service is it's Final Fantasy XIV. Like, if you are a Final Fantasy fan, this will suit you, especially if you like MMOs. But the thing that I believe that Final Fantasy also did so well on, even though that it is based in the world of Final Fantasy, that it has a very welcoming type of feel to people who have never played Final Fantasy, or they haven't played Final Fantasy in years. You won't feel like you're lost or confused in the world. Like, it really helps you immerse yourself into the world of Final Fantasy. We start to truly see the World of Warcraft decline as recently World of Warcraft largest streamer, Asmongold, decided to try out Final Fantasy XIV for the very first time, in which that was a couple days ago live on stream. Which, in my opinion, that exploded all over Twitch. It blew up in the MMO YouTube space. It was a massive thing. Sadly, but I do gotta make one quick point. Griefing is the worst thing possible you can do, especially when people are new to the game and you're trying your hardest to make sure that they don't progress, especially when it's somebody like Asmongold. Like, some of the Final Fantasy XIV community didn't even want him in the game. A lot of people was actually excited to see, like, it was a lot of mixed reviews of him even coming over. Not to mention, because he's such a large streamer, he did almost broke the server. He couldn't even get into the server himself. Like, it was so bad. Like, he had a queue waiting for Final Fantasy XIV of like 500 people. That's insane. And he basically had to sit there on stream and just try to see if he could hopefully get back into the server. But sadly, that is what happened to him. He did get griefed fairly early on. I believe he's now currently making newer videos about Final Fantasy XIV, and I feel like he's having a very good time. Now, we can say we did get justice. Square Enix did nip that right in the bud. They banned the person that was initiating the griefing. He has a 9-day total ban, which this makes it seems that he has been banned previously before. And he even came out on a Reddit post saying that he was banned, and he even sent out showing all the Reddits like what was the thing that Square Enix sent him. And Square Enix is no joke when it comes to banning, so he got a 9-day total ban, meaning he basically been getting banned previously before. So that just shows like, bro, this is your well account and you want to risk it all just to be funny. But with that aside, Asmongold is currently enjoying the game. You could catch up on his recent videos about it. But this leads me to my final conclusion of why I believe Final Fantasy XIV will now take the crown as the next best MMORPG in 2021. And I feel like Final Fantasy deserves that crown after every very successful update or expansion to the game. This is in no way that Final Fantasy XIV killed WoW. No, it's simply WoW eventually it's killing itself and dethroned itself, which most people kind of saw coming, and I saw it as well. I'm a veteran in World of Warcraft. I didn't play the every expansion. The only expansion I haven't touched was literally Shadowlands. I stopped playing at Battle for Azeroth. But the best thing is, what's the sad part about it is, why was your best update, your best expansion, was literally getting rid of 17 years of updates, expansions, and growth. And what did you do? You brought back Classic. That was your best expansion you ever made, was getting rid of 17 years. Granted, yes, the World of Warcraft isn't the same how it used to be back then, because the same dev team that made WoW in the beginning is no longer there. It's that just shows that, like, wow, you're starting to decline. You need to do something to bring these players back. You lost 41% of your subscription base. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, and most of these people are starting to flock over to Final Fantasy XIV or any other big major MMO like Elder Scrolls, Fantasy Online 2. There's a catalog of videos of a lot of people who've been huge front runners in World of Warcraft, and they're talking about their experiences between Final Fantasy XIV and WoW. And I'm one of them. I was a huge World of Warcraft fan. Huge. Played every expansion. Did as many dungeons as I can, did as many raids as I can, the whole 9. But honestly, in my opinion, since I came back to Final Fantasy XIV this year, I've been having so much more fun than I was having when playing World of Warcraft. That gives me mixed feelings. I love the game, but I truly think and believe that Final Fantasy XIV deserves that crown as the #1. And I can't wait to see, especially we got Endwalker coming in a couple months. I can't wait to see how Final Fantasy XIV prospers in the next 5 to 10 years. Once they keep updating, keep upgrading, sending out more expansions, giving us more jobs and classes. I can't wait. Now, I want to ask you guys, let's chat about it. In the comments below, let me know what you guys think about the recent events with World of Warcraft, and what are your experiences with it, and what do you believe on your thoughts on how Asmongold got griefed, and how do you feel about Final Fantasy XIV be trying to become the next new king of the MMO genre. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if you want any future updates or stories or discussions on your favorite MMOs, RPGs, and tech, then ring the bell and hit the subscribe button. And as always, my outcast, it's been your boy, ChaosDTV, signing out. Peace.
I make them manifest. I don't sleep, that's so weak, don't plan to rest. I'm from a hood where you die if you don't pack a vest. No culinary degrees, but whipping crack the best. Chefing, hard times taught lessons. Praying every night to pull up and park Benzes. What's my home is what you call trenches. You wouldn't last a day seeing life through all lenses. It's all tension, no sun, and rain and plenty. Full-time job, still connected.